Warning, this episode references sexual abuse. Kendrick Lamar is a storyteller in a time when consuming stories looks nothing like it has throughout history. Traditional books and poetry will most likely stick around, but they're far from modern, especially when media has popularized doom scrolling. And most of my generation can't finish a movie, and they gotta come back and finish it later. Probably once they're done fulfilling their urge to doom scroll for the next hour or so. So how can Kendrick Lamar tell stories in this specific time? Probably no secret that I'm revealing when I say that he is a musician, specifically in the hip-hop genre. Lamar is one of 80 different musical artists to earn a Pulitzer Prize, the top award in American journalism, literature, drama, and music, with Kendrick being the first non-classical or jazz artist to receive this award. Kendrick Lamar is referred to as one of the top storytellers in hip-hop. But what is his deepest story? Today I'm going to be talking about Mother I Sober, Kendrick Lamar's deepest song. Mother I Sober by Kendrick Lamar, featuring Beth Gibbons, is a song about generational trauma suffered in the Black community, specifically focused around sexual assault and how it's internalized and damages mental health. The story is centered around himself and how witnessing the sexual assault of his mother affected him mentally, and how he continues a trend of generational curses of leaving these thoughts unaddressed. Society has forced Kendrick to hold on to these feelings instead of confronting them. Kendrick viewed women in a lustful nature, leading to a sex addiction and infidelity to cope, ultimately straining his relationship with his wife Whitney, whom he describes as the purest soul I know. Kendrick grapples with the societal assumption that men must stay stoic, hold on to their feelings, and move on. Kendrick references that Black culture has a history of suppressing their traumas and especially their thoughts around sexual assault. He feels pressure from his community to keep these feelings inside rather than coming clean. And after the assault on his mother, Kendrick followed these pressures produced by his culture. The pressure was observed in the book The Man Not by Dr. Tommy J. Curry, explaining that the history of sexual assault against Black women from slavery and Jim Crow has been passed down, but the sexual experience by oppressed men has largely been erased from history and literature, forcing them into silence regarding their mental struggles. Holding on to trauma was the expectation, and paranoia caused his mother to project her trauma and fears onto Kendrick, repeatedly asking him if his cousin had touched him, and his family wouldn't believe him when he denied the question frequently, regardless of the reality being the opposite of their assumption. By failing to accept his reality, the trauma was passed on to him from his mother. The track starts somberly with a shaky voice, almost at a whisper, and Beth Gibbons hauntingly sings the chorus, "I wish I were somebody, anybody but myself," showing that Kendrick fell into deep self-loathing as he had been overwhelmed with shame. As Kendrick admits these flaws, including his infidelity and his disrespect towards women and hurting his supportive wife, he gets it off his chest. He becomes more confident, presenting louder and prouder as a way to show progression. By the end of the track, his healing is realized. The track finishes with the voice of his wife and children thanking him for coming clean, proudly declaring, "You broke a generational curse." Lamar challenges the traditional norm of sticking it out, redefining toughness as being confident with your emotions rather than burying them. The track normalizes speaking out about mental health within the Black and other communities, proving that true strength lies in the painful, necessary work of coming clean. That is why Mother I Sober is Kendrick Lamar's deepest song. Thank you for listening to Audio Notes presented by I'm Not Mindset.